Hi everyone, welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming strategic case study examinations happening in August 2023. My name is Nick and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for SCS at TCS. So let's look at the session outcomes for tonight. So first things first, I will be explaining the technicalities behind the SCS exam because there could be a set of students who are coming through the exemption routes such as the C-suite or the CGMA program or the FLP route. So this might be your first CIMA case study. So you need to have an in-depth understanding about the technicalities pertaining to your SCS exam. So I will be taking you through all these things as the first part of tonight's session. Then in the second part, I will be taking you through an 8-week study plan. And if you stick to it, you can pass this exam extremely comfortably because take it from me. When you consider the three case studies, OCS, MCS, and SCS, the SCS or the strategic case study is the easiest. But what you need to have a high level of practical thinking. So if you can come up with appropriate solutions to problems faced by your company, Daistruk, because this time's pre-scene is based on a logistics services provider, which is known as Daistruk. So if you can provide appropriate solutions to the issues faced by the company, then you can easily pass this examination. All right, so I'll take you through all these things later on. So let me also remind you about the webinar schedule. So we are conducting the first webinar tonight. And remember that we are conducting 2 additional free webinars in the upcoming weeks. The second webinar is happening on the 9th of July, which is next Sunday. And out of the 3 webinars, the most important is the second one, because at the second webinar, I will be explaining answer planning and time management techniques. Remember, without having an understanding about how to develop your answers, how to structure your answers, you cannot pass this exam. And most students who are attempting SCS, the most common problem which they face is with regards to managing their time. Although you have 60 minutes at your disposal for each and every task, or each and every requirement at your real exam, time flies when you are under exam stress. Okay, so most students run out of time. And when this happens, what happens is, almost all the time, students end up providing half-hearted answers or incomplete answers. And if you do, you are not playing the role of a senior finance manager properly. And in that case, you will end up failing the exam. So it's of utmost importance that you understand the answering as well as time management techniques. And these things will be covered in the upcoming webinar, the second webinar. And all these theoretical elements pertaining to answer planning and time management will be explained to you in a practical manner based on taking you through a question and answer of the SCS mini mock, which you can find via our website. Then in the third webinar, exam prep, I will be taking you through comments made by the CIMA examiner, because it's better to understand what is required from you. It's better to understand the mindset of the CIMA examiner or the expectations of the CIMA examiner. So, I'll be taking you through the comments. And on top of that, I will also highlight why students fail most of the time. The problems faced by students will be explained. And for each of these problems, I will be providing solutions as well. And on top of that, at the very end of the third webinar, I will be taking you through hints, or I will be providing you hints pertaining to how to develop a higher level of confidence, because as per the CIMA examiner, especially at the SCS level, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. So all these hints will be provided, and all these tips will be provided in the third webinar, exam prep. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritties pertaining to the technicalities of your SCS exam. So there are three routes when you look at how students end up at the SCS level. So there are a set of students who are coming through the CIMA general route. So if you are one such student, you would have done your OCS exam as well as MCS exam already. So you will definitely have an in-depth understanding about how CIMA case study examinations are run. So for you, SCS exam is going to be a walk in the park. Why am I saying this? Because simply because you have done 2 previous case studies under CIMA. And on top of that, you had gone through the OTQ syllabuses, because you should pass the OTQ exams to end up at SCS. So you would have done your E3, P3 and F3 related OTQ examinations. So if that is the case, you can easily pass the SCS exam. And on top of that, additionally, there are a set of students who are coming through exemption routes. So these students are coming through the C-suite program or the CGMA program or the FLP, or widely known as Finance Leadership Program. So these students who are coming into SCS might have done a previous case study with CIMA, but most of the time, the problem which is faced by these students is pertinent to understanding the theoretical elements which are covered under E3, P3 and F3, because you have not done these examinations, you have not covered these syllabus areas. So in such an environment, you would struggle a bit at the SCS exam, but there's absolutely nothing to worry. We have developed a set of videos which covers the theoretical elements as well as the application aspects, so that you are in a position to learn theory whilst preparing for your case study examination. And on top of that, improve on your application skills. So, we have developed resources for you guys. So if you're coming through an exemption route, do not worry unnecessarily thinking that, you are not in a position to pass this exam given your gaps in knowledge. We have covered that. There's absolutely nothing to worry. All right. So looking at the exam, your exam is going to be a PC-based exam, and the time allocation is 3 hours. And your paper will have 3 main tasks, and the time allocation for each task is 60 minutes. And the pass mark is 80 marks out of 150, or 54%. All right. So taking you through an overview of the exam, there's somebody in the waiting area. All right. So explaining about or providing an overview of the SCS exam, information is provided about a fictitious company in advance via a pre-seen document. So I assume that you would have already gotten your hands on the pre-seen document. You would have already read through the pre-seen document. So if you had done it, you would have understood that the CIMA examiner is giving an introduction into the company, and he or she is also explaining about the internal dynamics of the company, and a higher level of prominence is provided to explain the industry dynamics. Actually speaking, if you look at this time's case study, there's a lot of technical jargon thrown at you. So you need to know which of the points or which of the information you need to remember, and which of the information you can keep aside. All right, so there's a lot of industry related information in these times pre-seen. So that's exactly why it's prudent if you get your hands on the annotated pre-seen which we prepare. So let me show you what this annotated pre-seen looks like. So this is a pre-seen which was relevant for a previous session. So as you can see, throughout this pre-seen document, I myself have made these annotations, and these annotations are developed with the intention of taking out the most important information, and on top of that, summarizing the entire pre-seen so that you can easily remember the most important points which are highlighted. And on top of that, as part of this, as part of these annotations, we also mention about probable exam scenarios which can arise at your exam, or which can be highlighted at your exam. And on top of that, we are also highlighting any syllabus areas which are tested based on the information provided as part of this pre-seen document. So as you can see, rather than reading through pages and pages of information, you can simply refer to these annotations and gain an in-depth understanding about what's actually happening within the company in a summarized manner. All right, so there are some more people joining in. Let me, yeah, all right, that's done. Okay. So likewise, if you go through all these annotations, you can find sample material. This pre-seen as part of sample material. So once you go through all these points, you can easily understand what's actually happening in the company. As you can see, we have highlighted the syllabus areas, BCG matrix, and on top of that, probable, usually the CIMA examiner hides some type of different types of hints within the pre-seen document. So all these things have been covered as part of the annotated pre-seen. And on top of that, in order to ensure that you remember the most important points which are highlighted, we have developed a set of TikTok videos. We have already shared them via our SCS WhatsApp group. If you are yet to get your hands on it, please drop us a message so that we'll reshare them. So what we have done is, via these 3 TikTok videos, we are covering the entire pre-seen within something like 9 minutes. So you just need to keep, watching these 3 videos over and over on a daily basis until your exam. Then by the time you reach the exam, you definitely remember the most important points. Okay. So all this information is provided as part of a pre-seen document, and at the very end, you would have seen financial statements of the company as well as its closest competitor. So we have covered that as well as part of the financial analysis slides which we have prepared. So as you can see, all the financial statements are evaluated. Yet these evaluations are kept concise as much as possible so that you can easily remember the information. And the statement of financial position as well as the statement of changes in equity, all these financial statements have been evaluated, followed by a ratio analysis, because at this level, at the SCS level, you need to have an in-depth understanding about the financial performance of the company, especially focusing on ratios such as liquidity and gearing ratios. Okay, so all these things again have been evaluated, and we have kept things simple so that you can easily remember. So a similar type of an analysis is also carried out for the closest competitor, because these information are provided as part of your pre-seen document. All right, so that's that. So you need to go through the pre-seen document properly, and your life becomes easier if you refer to the annotated pre-seen and the other study material which we provide. So in the exam, you are required to address issues or questions relating to the strategic direction of the company. So you are at the top, very top of the organization. You are reporting to the board members. I will talk about your role, in the next slide. But you need to remember, you are playing the role of a senior finance manager. You are reporting directly to the CFO or any other director. So all these directors have something called an outside-in approach. What is an outside-in approach? When being involved with strategic decision-making, you need to think about how your decisions are affecting the external environment or external stakeholders. So if we take a certain decision, how is it going to affect our customers? The government, how is the government going to look at us? How is it going to affect the general public? How are we going to, are we going to satisfy suppliers? There could be other different types of, we have to think about how the competitors are reacting to us. So all these things are the responsibilities. You have to think about all these things as a board member when arriving at decisions. Okay, so that's exactly why I've said, when preparing for your SCS examination, you need to have an in-depth understanding about the industry. You need to have an appropriate understanding about the industry dynamics. If you do, then you would come up with extremely good decisions, which will not affect any stakeholder in an adverse manner. Okay, so you need to have an in-depth understanding about the industry. So in order to understand about the industry dynamics, simply go through the annotated pre-scene, because we have summarized all the information so that you can easily understand what the industry is about. And on top of that, we provide a set of industry analysis slides. So by going through these slides, you can gain an understanding about the industry overview, the competitive landscape, the industry trends, and we have also mentioned information about 2 real-world companies. So what you need to understand is, within this set of slides, which comes as part of an industry analysis, we are highlighting the real-world industry dynamics. Okay, so we have evaluated everything based on the information provided in the annotated pre-scene. Additionally, we have also carried out an evaluation to figure out how this industry operates in real term. Okay, so that's exactly what you can see here. So by going through this set of slides, you can easily understand what type of an industry you are dealing with in this time's case study. Okay, and on top of that, you need to have an appropriate level of knowledge about the company. So whenever you are taking a decision, definitely you need to be conversant about how it's going to affect the internal stakeholders of the company. So you can gain an understanding about these things by going through the annotated pre-scene. So having an appropriate level of understanding about the company as well as the industry is not sufficient. You need to also think about your theoretical knowledge, because as a senior finance manager, yes, you are involved with practical decision making. However, you need to, whenever you are taking a decision, you need to know your theory. For instance, if you are taking a decision to raise debt, if let's assume we are going for an investment, so we have 2 options at our disposal. We can go for debt or we can go for equity. So when making your recommendation, you need to think, or you need to know about the pros and cons of debt as well as equity. And on top of that, you have to also explain about the gearing ratio. If we go for debt, how is it going to affect the gearing ratio? And how, if we are going for equity, how is it going to affect our gearing ratio? So 2 areas are combined. Pros and cons of debt and equity falls under E3. And talking about the gearing ratio, or including the gearing ratio within your answer, it has everything to do about the F3 syllabus. So if you do not know your E3, P3, and F3, you cannot pass this examination. So you need to have an appropriate level of knowledge about the company, the industry, as well as the syllabus content. All right, so let's talk about your role. You are playing the role of a senior finance manager, as I told you earlier, and you are involved with long-term decision making or strategic decision making. You are directly reporting to the CFO or the board members of the company. And the examiner expects a high level of application and practical thinking for SCS. So you need to understand or remember that theories are tested. So you need to have an appropriate understanding about E3, P3, and F3 syllabuses, especially the E3 syllabus, because a high level of prominence is provided for the E3 syllabus. And on top of that, practical decision-making abilities are heavily tested as well. Okay, so let me tell you about the to-do list. When preparing for an exam, you have something like 8 weeks at your disposal. That's enough and more time. And in the upcoming 8 weeks, you are supposed to read the annotated pre-scene, watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos, because we have, as I told you earlier, your pre-scene document consists of 4 main areas, and for each area, we have developed a video where we explain the information which is provided within the annotated pre-scene. So you need to watch these 4 pre-scene analysis videos. Then the most important thing is to practice 5 exam standard mock exams. So you might be thinking why you need to practice 5 exam standard mocks. Well, you cannot cover the entire syllabus if you attempt just 1 or 2 mock exams. If you have to cover the entire syllabus, E3, P3, and F3 related areas, if you are to cover all different types of scenarios which can be thrown at you at the exam, then you definitely have to practice 5 mock exams. And on top of that, as I told you, I will be explaining answer planning and time management techniques in the second webinar. So if you are to champion this answer planning and time management technique, you need to practice 5 mock exams. So each mock exam consists of 3 main tasks. So if you practice 5 mock exams, 3 tasks into 5 mocks, it's as if you are replicating the answer planning and time management techniques 15 times over. That's enough practice for you to implement these techniques and excel at your SCS exam. So you need to practice 5 exam standard mocks. Take it from me, although I tell all these things, students, since they do not stick to a study plan, what happens is they end up trying to do too much within the last 2 weeks leading up to the exam. And because of that, because they cannot get everything done within 2 weeks, they end up practicing just 1 or 2 mocks and finally end up failing the examination. So in order to ensure that you pass your exam, definitely you have to practice 5 mock exams, and you have to attend live webinars and workshops. So we will be conducting 2 more free webinars, as I told you earlier. And on top of that, for paid students, we'll be conducting additional workshops as well. And on top of that, you have to refer to slides pertaining to industry analysis, financial analysis, the top 20 issues, which highlights the type of scenarios you would see at the exam, as well as the theory recap slides pertaining to E3, F3, and P3, so that you brush up your knowledge in these areas. And you are supposed to watch 20 pre-recorded masterclasses. So in this, I've actually done a blunder here. Not 20, 15 pre-recorded masterclasses. So via these masterclasses, what we are ideally doing is we are explaining the answers of mocks 1 to 5. And whilst explaining the answers, we are teaching theory as well as application. So we are not teaching you theory separately. Instead, what we are doing is we are explaining the answers of mocks, and whilst explaining the answer, we are teaching you theory. And we have found it to be, extremely efficient, because students need not go through their old study packs or their study notes or whatever. Instead, whilst doing a mock, they are learning theory as well as application. Okay, so you are supposed to watch these 15 pre-recorded master classes, then you learn theory and application. And you are supposed to refer to answer plans of mocks 1 to 5. So what are these answer plans? So with the mock exams which we have developed, you get a set of suggested answers. Okay, but going through these suggested answers becomes a cumbersome process, because whilst going through these suggested answers, you need to develop your own short notes or answer structures or answer plans. So rather than asking you guys to do it, we ourselves have developed these answer plans. So we are actually providing the answer structure or the answer summary. So you can easily, go through these answer structures, and by going through these answer structures, you can easily learn theory, improve your application skills, improve your understanding about how to bring in information from the pre-scene so that you add value to the answer. And you can easily spot the logic behind the answer and how it is aligned with the requirements which are highlighted under each and every question. Okay, so go through these answer summaries, and closer to the exam, these answer summaries will be invaluable to you. And on top of that, you are supposed to refer to personalized tutor feedbacks, which are provided for mocks 3 to 5. So let me show you the type of tutor feedback we provide. So, as you can see, on a paragraph by paragraph basis, we have evaluated the quality of the answers provided by the student. And, so throughout the answer, you can see the type of, comments which I've made. And on top of that, at the very end, a grading is provided. So as you can see, the student has achieved just 67 marks. So the student can easily spot where he or she did really well and where he or she needs to really improve the quality of the answer. So as you can see, the highlighted areas which are highlighted in yellow indicates the success rate. So by looking at the success rate, you can determine whether your answer is up to standard or not. So in this student's answer for task 1, he had gained extremely good marks, but for all the other tasks, except for task 3B, for all the other tasks, the student had gotten really low marks. So that's exactly why the student had ended up, getting just 67 marks. Okay. And a set of general comments are also provided with the intention of further improving the quality of your answer. All right. So that's the type of tutor feedback you would receive. So once you attempt a mock via our exam platform, within 48 hours, you will receive similar type of feedback from me. Okay, so that's your to-do list. So you might be thinking that you have to do hordes of work, but that's actually not the case. Once I take you through the study plan, you understand that all this work can be done within 8 weeks. In a relaxed manner without having to spend too much on preparations. All right, so let me remind you about the important dates. Note that exam entry closes on the 8th of August 2023. So if you are planning to do your exams in August, you have to book your exam before the 8th. And the exam dates are from the 23rd of August to the 25th of August 2023. All right. So before we move forward, I think a question had come in. I'm struggling to access the WhatsApp group. The link seems to be not working. All right, Godfrey, what you can do is I will be sharing our contact details at the very end of tonight's webinar. So, maybe drop us a personal message so that we can sort out access for you. All right. So before we move forward, guys, any questions? Let me pause the recording. All right, seems like there aren't any more questions. So let me quickly remind you what we offer at TCS before moving on to the second part of tonight's webinar. So I'm on the SCS page of our web page, which is Study at TCS. So if you want to access free content, simply press on this button. And if you want to purchase, before purchasing any of our study material, simply click on this button and check out the sample material to gain an understanding about the quality of our content. Okay, so let me talk about the 3 different packages which we are offering. First things first, I'll explain the Essentials pack. So if you purchase the Essentials pack, you would get your hands on the recorded versions of the 4 webinars, 5 mock exams with suggested answers, and the 4 pre-scene analysis videos. Okay, and this is priced at £99. So if you are a student who is coming through the CIMA general route, and if you had aced your OTQ exams, if you have not failed any of your OTQ exams, but if you have gotten really good marks, then simply go for the Essentials package, because you can work things out on your own. If you had passed your OTQ exams, it shows that you have some type of discipline and you are committed as a student. So in such an environment, you need nothing else, just the 5 mocks, the recorded, because in the webinars, we are highlighting the technicalities pertaining to your exam. And if you watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos, you know about what's happening within the company. And the Essentials pack is priced at £99. Then looking at the value pack, it consists of the services which you'd receive under the Essentials pack. On top of that, you'd get your hands on the annotated pre-scene, the industry analysis cards, the financial analysis cards, the top 20 likely issues slides, the case study familiarization kit, as well as you'd have access to a tutor managed live chat via Twilio via the website itself. And you'd also get your hands on the theory recaps of OTQ syllabus content, E3, P3, and F3 revision cards will be provided to you if you invest on the value pack, and it is priced at £199. So if you are a student who is coming through the CIMA general route, but if you had struggled with the OTQ exams. If you had failed any of the OTQ exams, then you need some type of mentoring, and you need access to additional study content. So the value pack is there for you. And looking at the premium pack, it consists of everything which comes under the value pack. And additionally, you'd get your hands on the mock exam platform. So you'd get access to the mock exam platform. And when attempting your 5 mock exams, you can do it under exam conditions via the exam platform. So this is going to be extremely beneficial for you, because we have made sure to develop an exam platform which is akin to the Pearson VUE system, which you'd use at your real exam. So when practicing the 5 mock exams, you need to, as I told you earlier, you need to keep on practicing the answer planning and time management technique. And the best way to do it is to attempt your mocks under real exam conditions via our exam platform. So you'd get access to it if you go for the premium package, and you'd get personalized professional marking and one-to-one tutor feedback on mocks 3, 4, and 5. And you'd get your hands on the answer plans of all mocks, the master classes, the recorded versions of the master classes, and you can attend 2 additional webinars or actually workshops which we are conducting online. And this comes with a monthly installment payment option and a pass guarantee. So let me explain what this pass guarantee is about. So, if you end up purchasing the premium package and end up failing the examination, we will give you access to the same package free of charge in your subsequent sitting. However, this comes with one single condition. And the condition is that you need to attempt 5 mock exams via the exam platform. So if you attempt the 5 mock exams, then you would receive feedback for 3. And on top of that, if you attempt the 5 mock exams, definitely you're going to watch the videos, the master classes. Then you'll learn your theory. So if you do these things, there's absolutely no way that you will fail your exam. So that's the guarantee which we are providing. So just because you purchase the premium package and, forget about studies or preparations, and if you wait until the last moment, you won't be able to attempt 5 mock exams. And take it from me, I've been teaching CIMA for the past 11 years. If you do not practice 5 mock exams, you can't pass this exam. Okay, so that's the only condition which we are, which we have imposed. Other than that, if you attempt the 5 mock exams, you can surely pass. Okay, and this comes in with an installment option. So the first installment is £99, and the balance of 450 pounds can be paid in 2 monthly installments of £225 each. So the package is priced at £550, but there's a discount on the first installment, a 50% discount on the first installment. So actually speaking, if you purchase it within the upcoming 2 weeks, the first installment is just going to be £49. So you are in a position to get a discount of £50 if you purchase in the upcoming 2 weeks. And let me explain this area as well. Yeah, so Godfrey, you said that you cannot access the SCS WhatsApp discussion forum. Actually speaking, if you click on this button, you can easily join the group. If you're still finding it problematic, please do drop us a message. We are more than happy to help you. Okay, so use the discount code SCS P50 in the checkout area to claim this 50% discount on the first installment, as I told you earlier. All right, so moving on to the second part of tonight's webinar, I'm gonna take you through an 8-week study plan. So you can easily find the study plan within the website itself. So you can keep track on a weekly basis with regards to where you stand and what you need to do. So everything, all your study material, as well as the study plan, everything is in one single place. Okay, so in the first week, you are supposed to attend the first webinar, study technique. You have already done it. So congratulations. Then you are supposed to refer to the OTQ theory recaps pertaining to E3, P3, and F3, and refer to the SCS familiarization kit. So I'm asking you guys to refer to the OTQ theory recaps before you go through the pre-scene document, the pre-scene analysis videos and whatnot, because it's better to spend, since you have time at your disposal at the moment, it's better to spend some time to polish up your knowledge in with regards to the theoretical elements, because you need these things. As I explained earlier, you need to combine theory and or in other terms, you need to apply theory when developing your answers. Okay, so it's better to go polish up your knowledge in these areas within the first week. And in the second week, you are supposed to attend the second webinar where I'll be explaining the answering technique as well as time management technique. And then you are supposed to watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos. It's just going to take you 2.5 hours to go through these videos, and simply refer to the annotated pre-scene on your own and refer to the industry and financial analysis slides. So up until week number 2, it's plain sailing, nothing much to do. It's just a matter of going through the study material which we have provided. And from week 3 onwards, things become a bit serious. You are supposed to attempt the first mock via our exam platform and watch the 3 master classes where we are explaining the theory and application pertaining to each and every answer, with regards to mock number 1. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is, let's assume you are in week number 3. On a Tuesday, you attempt your first mock exam. So on Wednesday, watch the 3 master classes. Then by Thursday, you will receive feedback. So you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or the weekend at your disposal to overcome your shortcomings, because we will be, once you have attempted the mock exam and watched the master classes, you'll understand what type of answers are expected out of you, and you'll also understand the quality of the answers which you yourself have provided. Okay, so you can easily compare, because we are, as I told you earlier, we are providing a set of answer plans. So once you're done with mock number 1, go through the answer plan, then you'd understand how you are supposed to improve your answers. So that's week number 3. Moving on to week number 4, you are supposed to attend the 3rd webinar exam prep and attempt mock number 2 and watch the 3 master classes for mock number 2. And week number 5, you are supposed to attempt mock number 3 via the exam platform. Then from mocks 3 to 5, you are receiving tutor feedback. So you are supposed to refer to the tutor feedback. And after you have referred to the tutor feedback, you are supposed to watch the 3 master classes pertaining to mock 3. And that's exactly what happens in week number 6 and 7. You are supposed to attempt mock number 4 within week 6 and mock number 5 within week 7. And remember, we are conducting a Q&A with the tutor, thereby conducting a live workshop on the 6th of August. But this is only applicable to students who had invested on the premium package. And in the 8th week, or the last week before the commencement of the exam, we are doing our final Q&A with the tutor, so that you can learn from your mistakes, and if you have any concerns, you can raise these concerns. And on top of that, I will be providing a confidence booster at the very end as well. And you are supposed to refer to the answer plans of mocks 1 to 5 and reread the annotated pre-scene. So as you can see, I told you, most students, they do not work according to a study plan. Because of that, they end up trying to do too much within the last week or last 2 weeks leading up to the exam. Okay. But if you stick to a study plan, a week before the exam, you're actually relaxing. You're not attempting any mock exams. You're not studying. Instead, simply you are referring to some study material which we have provided. So once you go through a week before the exam, once you go through the answer plans of all 5 mocks, it's as if you are revising the entire syllabus of SCS syllabus of CIMA. And on top of that, revising or improving your application skills, improving your answer structuring skills. So once you do it, once you are relaxed, a week before the exam, definitely you will end up passing the examination. Okay. And you are supposed to stop preparations a day prior to the exam, sleep, eat, and rest well. So if your exam is on the 24th of August, you are supposed to stop all your work by the 22nd of August. You might think I'm stupid to say this, but you are playing the role of a senior finance manager. And the CIMA examiner is trying to replicate a real life corporate environment. In a real life corporate environment, if you were up last night, you can't do your job properly. You can't think straight. If you're under a lot of stress, you won't come up with the best decisions. You'd come up with rushed decisions, and rushed decisions are not always the best decisions. Okay. So if you have to do your job properly as a SFM or a senior finance manager, you need to be relaxed. You need to have a calm mindset. You need to be open-minded. So that's exactly why I want you guys to stop all your work a day prior to the exam. Relax your mind and body. And if you are relaxed, since you have done your homework up, if you are relaxing within week 8, then you have done your homework. You have gone through all mock exams. You have referred to the study material. You are simply going through the answer plans. So you can easily pass your examination without any hiccups. All right. So that's what you're supposed to do. So if you really understood the study plan, what you simply need to do is, on a weekly basis, you need to find 3 hours at a stretch, sit in one place and attempt the entire mock in one go. That's the only thing which you are supposed to do as a serious activity. Everything else is covered by us. So on a weekly basis, if you are in week number 3, just sit in one place, allocate 3 hours and attempt the mock exam. Everything else is handled by us. In week number 4, 5, 6, 7, in all these weeks, you are only supposed to sit in one place and attempt a mock per week. Okay. So as you can see, you are not supposed to, do too much when it comes to preparations. We understand that you have your family commitments. You might be running your own business, or you might be a corporate citizen. So you'd be extremely busy with your office work, as well as and on top of that, you have to find some time for CIMA preparations as well. So we have made your life easier. You need to find just 3 hours on a weekly basis to attempt the mock exams. And if you do, you can easily pass the examination. All right. So that's what we offer. So, we are happy to say that for the February sitting in 2023, we got a 96% pass rate. So, how we achieved this pass rate was because, we made sure that the students stuck to the study plan. And if you do, you can easily pass. And as you can see, this student got a national rank. She was the 4th in all of India. So most of our students end up getting more than 100 marks, although the pass mark is 80. Most of our students get more than 100 marks. So this student got 104 marks. If you stick to our study plan and use our material properly, and if you sit in one place and attempt a mock per week, you can easily pass this examination in your first sitting itself. All right. Any questions, guys? Any doubts? All right. Seems like there aren't any questions. So let me remind you how you can contact us. You can simply contact us via the website, which is www.study@tcs.com, or email us via info@study@tcs.com, or simply drop us a message on this WhatsApp number. Then we invite you guys to follow us on our social media handles as well, especially check out our TikTok page, because as I told you earlier, a good summary of the entire pre-scene. A set of 3 videos are uploaded onto our TikTok page. So please go check it out and remember to subscribe as well. All right, so concluding thoughts, approach SCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. Having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's webinar. I hope you guys gained something out of this. And I expect you guys to attend the second webinar, which is the most important one, where I'll be explaining answer planning and time management techniques. Thank you very much. Take care and good night.